In the feature segment today, we go to Purvis, Mississippi to visit a couple honored for their commitment to conservation. Orby and Brenda Wright were honored in January with the Outstanding Wildlife Conservationist Award by the Mississippi Association of Conservation Districts. Some find it hard to believe that fire is one of the tools that the Wrights use on their property. Farmweek visited the Wrights recently when a prescribed burn took place. It actually improves wildlife habitat and the southern pine ecosystem.
We like the longleaf ecosystem, and we've been in several programs that help us with that also, to promote the gopher tortoise, and it's great for fox squirrels and quail and turkey and deer.
Orby Wright and his wife Brenda bought the land in 1988 that would eventually become Quail Hollow Ranch. You wouldn't know it today, but the Wrights say the land was pretty well cut over and needed reforestation. The Wrights sought out public and private forestry expertise and developed a plan to restore the property. 14 years later, in 2002, they were the Mississippi Forestry Association's Outstanding Tree Farmers of the Year. The next year, they were the Southern Region Tree Farmers of the Year. In January 2010, they received the Wildlife Conservationist Award from the Mississippi Association of Conservation Districts. The Wrights love the outdoors so much, they burn it.
It's important to remember that for hundreds of years, fire has been a part of the pine ecosystem in the southeast. It helped to control underbrush. It helped to promote native grasses and native forbs that are important for wildlife species, and also helped to reduce wildfire risk. If you look in the western part of the United States these days, in California and Montana and those type areas, you see that we're always having wildfires. And the primary reason is because we've taken fire out of the equation.
Russ Walsh is the president of the Mississippi Prescribed Fire Council and the chairman of the Lamar County Soil and Water Conservation District. Walsh says the southern pine forest and its wildlife are adapted to fire. As long as the fire stays out of the treetops, southern pines can take the heat. The fire also clears out the understory, creating anew the habitat that the animals of the southern pine ecosystem need.
Fire just starts the process of plant succession over. We reduce the woody growth and the hardwood competition. We reduce all the dead grasses. So right after a burn for the summer, several summers after the burn, we have all of these lush plants coming back, all these native grasses and all of these broadleaf weeds that are going to provide food sources and cover.
The proper use of fire in pine timber and wildlife management is called prescribed burning. As the name implies, it's not done indiscriminately. It's planned for the given area to be burned. A person certified in prescribed burning creates the prescription.
The certified prescribed burn managers have gone through the burning short course in Mississippi. And they learn about weather patterns, they learn about firing techniques, they learn about fuel loads and fuel conditions and right burning conditions. They know all of the pieces to the puzzle of prescribed burning.
To legally conduct a prescribed burn in Mississippi, you must have a notarized burn plan for the site. A certified prescribed burn manager must be on site during the burn. You must secure a burn permit from the Mississippi Forestry Commission on the day of the prescribed burn. There are advantages to following the law. By using a certified prescribed burn manager, you have an experienced person who knows how to conduct a prescribed burn where it won't get out of control. Following the law also gives you legal protection.
If you have followed the letter of the law, which means you've had your burn plan, burn manager on site, got a burn permit, then if a fire gets out and causes damage to a neighboring property, then they have to prove negligence, that you were negligent on your part. And if you followed all those steps, it's going to be very hard for them to prove that negligence.
The Wrights conduct prescribed burns every year, but they do not burn every acre every year.
Longleaf, typically we burn every other year, at least we try to. And then of course we rotate different areas and leave some unburned areas for nesting for the turkeys and quail.
As fires move through here, they're not just going to be in that stand and get burned up. They're going to move out, but they've got cover to go to because we haven't burned all of the property at one time. They've got cover to move to. So wildlife are very resistant to prescribed fire and also very adapted.
Just as I went up the house a while ago, is bringing the water back, there was 4 fox squirrels in the front yard. Just, you have geese in the back, and I saw 2 big turkeys walk across the yard this morning, and that's just something that not everybody, you just can't have without working at it.
Prescribed burning is not done simply by getting on the upwind side of a track and allowing the fire to sweep across the entire track at one time. Torches are used to set fire to small strips, working from the downwind edge of the track to the upwind side. This keeps the fire manageable, out of the treetops, and it's much less likely to jump the fire lanes. Smoke is one of the biggest concerns in prescribed burning. Weather conditions must allow it to rise into the sky. Smoke that stays on the ground could create dangerous driving conditions on nearby roads.
The biggest factor that we face with burning today is smoking in highways and residential neighborhoods, and that's where that burn permit really comes in and says, hey, smoke is allowed to disperse well today.
Gary Blair, South Area Vice President with the Mississippi Association of Conservation Districts, says the Wrights were deserving of the MACD's Wildlife Conservationist of the Year award. They're involved in reestablishing the gopher tortoise on their property. Blair says the Wrights have also assisted the Lamar County Soil and Water Conservation District by hosting education events for landowners and youth. The property has been a training site for the MACD-sponsored Envirothon competition.
A lot of our programs now are geared toward education. I would say that's our largest component, is educating not only the public and the farmers and the landowners, but also our young people, our students. We do a lot of our programs are geared toward our young people and getting them aware of what conservation practices are and what things that they can do to assist the natural resources that God has given us.
Using poplar lumber salvaged after Hurricane Katrina swept through their property, the Wrights have built a creekside pavilion.
That's something that we wanted to do, and it gives us an opportunity to have a place so that we can have the school kids come in, and we have field days down here and things like that. It's just it's an ideal spot rather than in a more residential kind of setting.
Brenda Wright says getting young people interested and knowledgeable about conservation is vital.
Well, if the young people aren't interested and don't learn about it, it ends with, these generations. But most young people, given the opportunity, they love the outdoors.
And you can see that story again on our Farmweek website.